Alrighty, welcome. It is February 4th, 2026, Wednesday, and this is the Options Millionaire Bookmap stream. I'm Andrew, the host of Options Millionaire. Before we get started, we're going to talk about something Bookmap is offering. It's the Blue Jacket competition for this month. Let me see if I can get this thing cranking here. There we go. So the focus here is on platform trading. You can submit sim trades, trades with your broker, or replay mode trades, as long as you enter and exit with the Bookmap software. So share it on X, LinkedIn, Instagram with the hashtag free blue jacket, and of course use the QR code to enter. Show us your best trades, baby. Use Bookmap. It's good stuff. Good stuff right there. So Nasdaq is coming off the 300 mark, which is a fantastic rejection SR flip all the way back down. We've been kind of walking through this price action all day long. We had a tremendous amount of liquidity lower on Bookmap this morning, and then they took it all off. So Bookmap has been very, very light liquidity on Nasdaq. On the S&P, however, we still have 6,900. We still have 6,890. We still have 6,850. So all that to say is that we've been very much bearish this week. We've been looking for Sunday night low after Monday's nonsense, the low volume, hollow rotation nonsense that just got everyone trying along, and they got wrecked. And of course, now we're just kind of playing the 3Cs. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. Hope you're having a fantastic week. If you're looking at Bookmap right now, we have liquidity down to 6,920, 6,890. We have call, selling, put buying at the moment, all the way down. And like I said, the time since October 9th, I have been in distribution mode. I've said that since October 9th, the market is beginning the process of putting in a top. And I think the time is coming. It's Q1, which is typically, the end of Q1 is typically a bearish sentiment for the market. We have now been flat for 4 months. In fact, it's actually a little bit before October 9th. The end of September is when we reach this range. So we have been now since September, October, November, December, January, February, potatoes, tomatoes, all that kind of stuff. 5 months, we've been dead flat. And I think that's in the process of distribution. And I think we're going to start kicking that off next week, this week into next week, February, halfway through February, getting into March, and then down we go. As of this, of course, we've already taken out Sunday's lows, and I think we're in the process of kind of downshifting another 30 points on the S&P. Heck yeah, brother. Heck yeah. Nasdaq is getting creamed like corn, and we are looking for a low touch into the 120s. Low touch into the 120s. Here comes 110. There we go. 69.20 and falling. 69.20 and falling. Shout out to all the metal longs being liquidated. Haven't even looked at silver today. What's it doing? Yeah, silver got wrecked, although we could have a 3C on there. I don't know how well silver's going to act for y'all now that nope, you can't trade it on Top Step. But you can trade it everywhere else. Silver could be put on a 3C. That is a perfect setup because the reason why, we have 2 volume spikes. We have the first one to capture some demand, a little bit lower to capture some more inventory, bottom wick with the volume. You get the higher high. There's your long entry on silver. Keep an eye on it. In my opinion on silver, if you want to take a little 3C, you need to capture at least 87.02 on the 5-minute. Nasdaq and the S&P are both getting creamed. I think we're going down to Chinatown, baby. Let's go see if they got some good egg rolls because we're going down. 135, looking for 107 on Nasdaq. Come on, baby. Give me something. Three C's is holding strong. Heck yeah, baby. Nasdaq, we got S&Ps going down to 69.20. Here's 135, 131, 130. Looking for it. Looking for it. Can they do it? I'm telling you. I'm telling you, it's coming. It's coming. The trade event issue is happening during a wonderful morning of 3 Cs. Yeah, it's no bueno, man. That is no bueno. No bueno. Hey, what was that? What time is it? What is that? They just filled some liquidity and popped. Ooh, what is that? Hey, look at the options. Options went a little nuts. Almost got down to low of the day. They got within 10 points of low of the day. And a little bounce around you with cheese. Big volume on this. Big volume on this. Whatever's happening here. Did they just post that China no longer wants our chips, H200 chips? Must be. This is a big green candle. Department of Justice releases they are taking into custody everyone on the Epstein list. Holy crap, it's happening. Just kidding. Just kidding. That'll never happen. 240 Nasdaq. Only so many times SPY can knock on that 686 door. You're right. That's called absorption. That's a fun way to say absorption. Sorry about that. Got me on that one. Yeah. It'll never happen. Imagine what my wife has to put up with. This is all day long for her. You only get me for 2 hours a day. She has to put up with this forever. That was a huge volume spike. It was. That was a huge volume spike. If they get over the SR flip, right on back up to the top. $110 million in call and put sold, 634 million calls purchased or calls sold, but it's up here. And whatever that was a great demand. So I don't see any news posting this, so that appears to be a structural move off that bottom wick. We have some bottom wicks on oil here too. We just had some crude oil inventories. Collective, a lot of volume into that 63.10. Still going. So we have Nasdaq with a clean expansion. We see these candles are a lot different from what we've been seeing. High volume, bottom wick. Let's go to the Cinco. We have a 3C locking in at 256 on Nasdaq now. Let's go take a look at Nasdaq liquidity. Nasdaq liquidity doesn't have anything on the book. Nothing. It is slim pickings for liquidity on Nasdaq. On the S&P, smack dab in the middle, we have liquidity to 7,068.90. Let's go take a look at the option chain positioning. Let's hit refresh. A couple of top wicks on Nasdaq. It's kind of spread out all over the place, but resistance appears to be 6,900, which correlates with what Spot Gamma says earlier today. Is that 6,900 SPX, once you break back below it, it becomes a difficult target to break back above. And we entering in that negative gamma territory gets into selling, induces more selling, and all buys are temporary. Sell the rips. 3C on gold if we get the candle. Nice. All right. Another top wick on Nasdaq. Back and forth. Just a little 150-point liquidity grab on gold. I haven't touched silver and gold too much in the past couple of days. A couple of trades here and there, but my love affair with silver is kind of coming to an end. I think we're going to have an amicable breakup. It's been fun. We both got a lot out of this relationship, but I think it's time to see other people, type of thing. Because yeah, I can see the crazy in silver's eyes. I know if I stick with silver, she's going to go crazy on me. So go ahead and end it now before it gets too far down the road. What did she do to you? Yeah. It's a love-hate relationship with silver. So, top wicks. What's up, Side Gig? Appreciate you, buddy. Another top wick. A lot of put selling. Calls are still staying down in the negative 600 million area, but they are selling a bunch of calls or puts. I'm sorry. I need to delete all my drawings here. Oh my gosh. Well, the buyers cannot claim a higher high. They cannot claim the 50%. They cannot claim the SR flip. So at this point, this chart is still looking bearish. We have a couple of bottom wicks with volume, but everything is getting top wicked. There's no higher high. They can't close anything. So until they close a higher high, preferably on the 5-minute, preferably on the 15-minute, you have to maintain the presence that the sellers are in control of the book. Keep things simple. This isn't ego. This isn't gambling. This isn't, I'm right, you're wrong. This is all about higher highs. When they put in a higher high, we'll start to go long. When they close 25,400, we will do away with all bearish sentiment today. But until then, the sellers are in control of the book. And if they come down and test 105 for the third time, I would put a 85% probability that we're tapping 25,028.50 on Nasdaq. The order book is pulling on down to 68.90 on the S&P. There's not much on the Nasdaq. The options are not actively bullish at the moment. So is it time for swing puts? I think we're close to time for swing puts, Uncle Bill. I think it's close to time. Here's the daily chart. We are nearing the low side of this range. So this is why I'm saying charts look juicy for a move down, but this thing can come on down to 800 and just wall up the shorts all the way back up to the highs. I don't know when we're going to break out of the range. I don't have a crystal ball. So all that to say is that this range has carved out so much liquidity in the past 4 or 5 months that it's hard to say when they're actually going to leave this range. In my opinion, it's coming very soon. So take that for what you will. There's a couple of different ways you could play swing positions if you're in options. You could take covered calls. You could take active puts. You can put on a PDS and just leg in and out of the short put as needed. You could take some sort of calendar. You could actively short the futures. You could short S&P ETFs. A whole bunch of different ways to do this. The only thing I will tell you is that don't do nothing. Don't just put on a put and hold it. Actively manage if you're going to do something, because I'm not sure when we're going to break down here. I think today we're at least going to get a test, another at a 105, which is another 60 points down on Nasdaq. So, whichever, what you want to do. Okay. Is this put selling to close or put selling to roll lower strikes is the real question. Yeah, that we don't know. That's the interpretation of a tool, so we don't know. So the whole question for me when I'm utilizing option chain flow like spot gamma and order flow like Bookmap, how much confluence can I get? If they're both telling me the same thing, then I've got a pretty dang good reason to believe we're going to head in a direction. Right now, we've got a decent amount of liquidity pulling down to 69.30, a little bit more down to 68.90, which is 40 points lower. We have failure to capture higher highs by the buyers. We have multiple top wicks with volume on the Nasdaq and the S&P. We have got no active call buying whatsoever on the zeros. So there's nothing telling me screaming bullish here. But you have to be aware of shifts in the winds. The winds can shift and easily start pulling the ship in one direction. So if we start to put in bottom wicks, if we start to put in higher highs, if calls start to trickle higher, then all right, there's a bounce imminent. More gold drama? What's gold doing? Oh, hey. Gold just got wrecked. What did silver do? Silver just got wrecked too. All the way down. But the 3C still working with silver. High volume tells you support. Nasdaq is top wicking still. Nasdaq is top wicking. Looking for this next price down at the bottom. You see this little bitty micro shelf? Obviously, there's a little bit of micro shelf right here. They take that out, it'll be, that's the last little supportive measures here they're looking to absorb before they come on down to low of the day. And right there, what, 150 or so? So they close that. You can play down to 105 pretty confidently. I think S&P is about to do it. We have a little absorption in this area. And they're just going to kind of breach that and make a move. Do you mind giving an opinion on structural sell stops for a gold buy at 934.7? Stops will seem to be somewhere I mess up. Let's go take a look at gold. So you're a buy at 934.7. So you're long from here. Let's just call it there. So you're long from there. Hopefully on the right side of it, we have volume. So we have a beautiful 3C here. You have the morning low that it's rejecting right here. SR flip, prior support, new resistance at morning low. So things are looking good. If you, in my opinion, if you're long on gold right now, I would make them take that from your cold dead hands, because if they take out the morning low of 49.70, you are going to make more money than you've ever seen before. If they take this out, you could start targeting, first right about 5,000. If they take 5,000, they'll reclaim the entire range. So in my opinion, I would set a stop somewhere in this ballpark right here. That's where I'd set my stop, somewhere about 49.50. Reason being, if they're going to stop out, they're going to do it. If they're going to liquidity stop, they're going to do it on down to 49.54.1 right here, and then go beyond a little bit to kind of just run the liquidity. So I would set my stop somewhere below this little support and then take your hands off the mouse. In fact, I would set that stop right there and shut the computer down. Go for a walk. Don't sit here and watch the price action. And then come back to see if you've made more money than you ever thought. And maybe you get stopped out. I don't know. But that's what I would do. Another top wick on Nasdaq. Not going to lie, I had FOMO today and I took 3 back-to-back losses and locked myself out instead of just waiting for my setup to come, which it did. Yeah. Well, good that you realize that. Another top wick. I think it's going to fail here. This little big move up right here, quickly top wicked all the way back over. More absorption into 153. But obviously this whatever this is, 150, 152 mark, is a decent area to pivot. And if they give this out, I think we'll have a pretty quick blip right on down to 107. We have a whole bunch of put selling, but we have a lot of call selling too. So we will see. Slow motion? Yeah. Yeah. A whole bunch of put selling. 60 million. They have now sold off pretty much every put they purchased this morning, but they're not buying calls. In terms of, they just wiped a bunch of liquidity on the book here too. 69.36, they just wiped out a bunch, took it off without actually transacting. But another top wick, of course. So we're just waiting for the shelf to break if it's going to do it. 25,180. We have this little block of liquidity on ES up to 69.50, so that'll be the next target if we go higher here. But everything right now, we're just range bound, bottom wick, top wick, bar coding, another aggressive top wick back lower. They're still selling calls here, so the option chain is kind of neutral at the moment. Again, this 153 mark will be the target, or will be the support, I'm sorry. They take that, look, another sweeping top wick. So if they take out this red line at any point, quick trip back down to the low of the day of 107. Coming on down. Can they do it? Can they do it? Big red candle. Boom. 25,136. Smoke-a-wony retrieves. Smoke-a-roni with cheese. Now that we've broken the little micro support, the buyers, or the sellers, I'm sorry, the buyers have to go finding new demand. So they sell it all back down. 25,108. The more we rotate, the more likely we build momentum for a larger move. Yes, sir. The longer we stay up in this block, the lower my target goes in the S&P macro. Attempted a long gold in 49.20 with TPT. You know how that went. Yeah, man. I stopped trading metals on my TPT a while ago. That was only reserved for Top Step. It's too spicy for prop firms. You're expecting them to take the lows out at 0.24. Nice. A lot of call selling right now. We have liquidity down to 69.20. Big green back up. Look at all that liquidity at 25.1. That's all they got. 25.1. All the way back down. Look at that. They are shaking the tree, man. They are shaking the tree. What do y'all think? So far, the buyers can't mount any kind of campaign. Here comes 25110. Oh, yeah. One 6-3. Top wick back over, 142. They're shaking this back and forth. We're going to see what we can do. One 3-0. Here comes the 109 area. Here comes the 109 area. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. Can we do it? Still going. Very slow, very barcodey, but you see the trend here. They broke this little micro support. They have all this liquidity on Bookmap down to 69.20 right here, and they're about to absorb it. You'll see absorbed. You'll see the big red move, and we'll pop down about 7 points on the S&P, and that'll put us right here at that prior pivot, eating up this liquidity. There you go. See it? See it eat? You see it eat? Blech! Right through there. 7 points. Bada boom, bada bing. We take that out, 69, 68.90 will go next. It's all about absorption. It's all about absorption. There you go. There's 69.20. Just ate it all up. Big red move. Now we're looking for 69.10 and then 68.90. Let's go. Let's go. Interesting. Big put buying, call selling. You see that right there? Look at that. There you go. Look at that right there. That is money in the bank, homie. Money in the bank. Tech is getting creamed. Nvidia is down almost 3%. 175. AVGO, Meta, Tesla all down 2.5 to 3%. Just getting killed. Look at all that liquidity came on the book. Now the skew is down to 6,900 in addition to the call buying. So we talked about correlation. We have it. We have the option chain is turning very bearish. We have the liquidity on the book is pulling down to 6,900. So another 18 points on the S&P is probably pretty likely. Probably pretty likely. Yeah, buddy. One sec, I have to mute. All right, still coming off. I thought I was on demo and took a losing trade on an account. I was up today. Stuff like that infuriates me. I've done that before, man. I'm with you. I've done that before. I've wiped out a significant profit on a funded account doing that before. Your Nasdaq would be sweet for show. It would, Nancy. I think we're not going to get it. I think we're going to get it. Look at all that juicy liquidity to 69.14. Come on, baby. What's gold doing? Gold failed that, so that should have stopped you out. Let's see. God, why is it so loud? Just restarted my quad tower and the thing almost blew my eardrums out. Stretch target achieved. Done for the day, so tempting to continue, but I like myself more tomorrow. Now, imagine the peace you can have if you stop trading when you're up on a day and you don't have to worry about it. Who cares if the market does? Who cares? You're good. Nice McGabagooly. Have a good day, buddy. I'll see you tomorrow. 2 more days in the week after today, baby. It's good stuff. All right, we have got 49.45 on gold. Nasdaq at 25.072. Still going. Still going, baby. What do y'all think? There we go. Here comes 028. It's going. Zero 028, 058, still coming down. Still going. Still going. Still going. Am I using Bookmap? I am. So Bookmap is right there on the screen to the left. Nice, Uncle Bill. Have a good day, buddy. 1.15 billion calls sold, 2 million inputs, and they are about to wreck all of this liquidity on the book all the way down to 6,900 and then 6,880. All the way down, baby. Do we get Monday's lows? What do you mean? Like last Monday's lows? It's possible. Right now, we're about to tap 028, which is last January 21st, I believe it is. Yeah. So this level is January 28th lows. In fact, let's tune it up a little bit to the exact price. What's the exact price? So we could be nets. 025 is the exact low from January 21st. Now, this is the low-hanging fruit stuff. This is the stuff that is easy to do. 025, I'll put 021. You should not be surprised by the defense of 025. I guarantee you they will defend this at least one time. So whether you're looking to short or looking to take a quick scalp long, I guarantee you they will defend 025 at least once, plus or minus a couple of points. You know, they might sweep it and put on a little bottom wick, but somewhere in this area, in this block, I can pretty much guarantee they're going to put on some sort of a bottom wick the first time it touches. So you do with that information what you will. Turn up your stops, put on a long position, whatever you want to do. I'm always thinking counter trend trading because I'm a rebel at heart. Anyone know the hotline for Rebel Anonymous? I need to kick the habit. Play to your strengths. If you are a counter trend trader, fine. Just know when to do a counter trend trade. There ain't nothing wrong with that. Linda Raschke says that she had a guy that only made money shorting the market. Only. Very successful, made millions of dollars. Now, if you post that on Twitter, you're going to get called a perma bear and get called jabroni and all this kind of stuff because, you know, that's what Twitter is. Play to your strengths. How am I marking these levels? What do you mean? Like technically, how am I doing it? Or analysis, how am I doing it? On TradingView, if you use the Alt key, so if you go to your keyboard and hold down Alt-H will give you lines. Like this. Alt-J will give you segments, like this. Good stuff. Alt-I will inverse your charts. Boom! Would you buy that? Anyway. A lot of cool stuff with trading. Logic for these levels. These levels are simply the easy stuff. That's the... If you look to the left, so kind of what I tell my members, if you just simply look to the left, you can take care of a lot of the stupid mistakes traders make. The easy stuff. Everyone talks about a system, you know, whatever system you want to trade. First, you got to do the easy stuff, which is just look left. Where is the market supports at? Where are the market resistance at? So you don't get caught shorting into a multi-week or multi-low support, which is January 21st. That's the easy stuff. There's no system there. There's no analysis. It's just plotting those levels. Now, what you do at those levels is analysis, and that's where I imply the 3 C's. So, you know, I can pretty much guarantee they're going to bounce. Look, I mean, they're already doing it. Pretty much guarantee they're going to bounce plus or minus this level. They might check it up. They might liquidity sweep it. That I don't know. And that keeps you from shorting a breakdown. People are going to get FOMO. Holy crap, we're going. They're going to try to short this level, and that's going to happen. They're going to get this massive hammer candle, and you're going to get creamed. And you're going to wonder why the crap did the market just bounce right when I took a short. Well, it's because you're shorting into January 21st lows. And I guarantee you there's going to be liquidity there, which there was. Did you see my post earlier this morning? I got pulled into a live on Tradeify. That is awesome, Lanner. Well done, buddy. That's a big deal. Getting pulled into a live account, you are now among the 0.7% of traders. Only 0.7% of prop firm traders actually ever make it to a live account. And even less actually get a payout from it. So well done. Well done. Proud of you. It's great when putting in the work finally starts to pay off. Where's Bitcoin trading at right now? $73,000. Holy smokes. And it doesn't look like it's going to stop. It's wiped out $50,000 since October. I mean, honestly, we're only back to November 2024 pricing, so wow, insane. Big old V recovery, well, not V, but big old bounce off this level. Now you've got things like this you can plot. You know, I personally am not a trend line trader. You've got a little bit of mini one right here. You can kind of see. I don't trade trend lines. I am aware of patterns, and I do like to monitor patterns. But yeah, this is kind of what we're going on here. We just bounce off of this little bit of block liquidity. It's wrecked, honey. Yeah, hold my wallet, honey. Yeah. So hopefully we kept you from shorting into that level. Still expensive for a string of numbers created by a certain someone who had a certain island with a bunch of certain billionaires. Oh, the big red. I'm only going to get more agitated the closer we get to April 15th, so I apologize. I apologize. Did the island have gates? I don't know, but hopefully it didn't have a musky smell. $25,073. We're going for a retest. The buyers cannot mount any kind of campaign. We have 68.90 is the next liquidity. Hablar del Diablo. I don't know what that means. Oh, man. What do we got? What do we got? Your Bitcoin. That's a lot of colors. 72,851. Nice. Speak of the devil. Oh, nice. There you go. Hablar. Okay, that makes sense. Nasdaq is testing out the 0.5 level again. What can we do on Nasdaq? There we go. There we go. Beautiful stuff, homie. Beautiful stuff. $25,046 and falling. New low of the day, still going. I love to see it. Love to see it. Into the block. Once more into the breach, good friends. We have a tremendous amount of calls selling. They are not even trying to defend this. The buyers aren't even trying to defend this. It's just straight down. Coming into January 21st lows. I would say there's a pretty dang good probability the S&P is going to wipe 6,900, which is another 13 points down. 13. Why are we defending this imbalance so much? Because this is January 21st. This is a multi-week low. So, multi-week low. There's got to be defense here. They're not going to blow right on through this on the first attempt. Not to say we won't go on to blow through it. I think we will. It's just we have weeks worth of liquidity sitting here. They're going to tap it. They're going to absorb. Might bounce off of it like the first time, and then down she goes. Look, there's a bunch more liquidity coming down to 6905, 6900 in the S&P. Just kind of trickling in here. Maintain the 3 C's. That's all you need to do. 3 C's. The 3 C's. All the way down. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Locked out 2 of the largest accounts. Need $150 on each, and I can request $5,000 on each. Nice, Lee. Well done, buddy. Congratulations. Keep up the great work, especially now that you can't trade silver on Top Step. Keep it up. Overadapt and overcome. Still defending. Do you look at volume profile? Yeah, volume profile is in my analysis every day. Do you plan to do more giveaways? I do. I actually completely forgot about that. We need to do it. We'll do another one this week. Definitely. What is a green box level you have marked? That's the where I figured with a high degree of probability the market's going to bounce at least once. So the box is arbitrary. I just put that on there as a visual representation for you all. The blue line is the low of January 21st. So it's a multi-week low. So I said that there's a pretty dang good probability I can almost guarantee, in fact, is what I said, that they are going to bounce this target at least one time, simply because of the amount of liquidity that's sitting there. I don't know how far they'll bounce it. I don't know if they'll eventually blow through it. I just know that at least once they're going to blow up, they're going to bounce off of it. And you can exploit that. So don't go shorting into this area was my point. You go shorting into a multi-week low is never a good idea. And they can't reclaim the morning high of 25,106. If you go to the longer time frame charts, you've got all this bouncing here. If you go to the 15, we have a couple aggressive bottom wicks, all with volume. So there could be a decent area for a little bit of a bounce temporarily into the afternoon. Four more minutes and I'll have to call it a day. Just be careful. They are selling puts, and they're starting to trickle into some calls as you hit the January 21st level. Just be careful. Could these quick pop-ups as defense be decent entry points for shorts if you don't see the buyers taking over? Yeah, yeah, they could. It's just finding out the exact way to take advantage of that and enter. So the level you have marked is solely January low, nothing else with that, like an overflow level. Nope, that is 100% January 21st lows. Nope. I keep things simple. I keep things simple. You're welcome. They are selling a whole bunch of puts. They have liquidity up to 69.30. The odds of Jesus Christ returning to this year have doubled overnight to 4%. Tell me about it, Trippy Mike. Jeez. I mean, heck with that. I'll put every dime I have into no. If it happens, who cares about the money? If it doesn't happen, you make a bunch of money. Gold 3C on the 1 minute. Let's take a look. We have volume. We have bottom wick. We have higher high in the 5. So we do have a higher high 3C entry on gold. If you would like to take it, there's your confirmation entry. You've got a couple of things going on here. Obviously, there's a decent trend that you have to fight on gold right now. Again, I'm not a trend line player, but that is what's happening with the price action. If you could take it out, I mean, you might have a good chance to get up to 49.80. I'd say you need 49.39 to have a 3C. Did I say trend line? Yeah, I did. All right, y'all. We are coming down to the end of the stream. Unfortunately, that means our time together today is over. If you have any questions, shoot me a DM in Discord. Come over and join the Options Millionaire community. It's fantastic. We stream every day. If not, you can come back and join the Bookmap stream next Wednesday at 9:30, 10:30 Eastern Time. So be aware of the January 21st lows on Nasdaq. They're already putting up a pretty nice defense of it. Been a pretty dang good day. I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. I'm out. See you.